Good morning, students. Just wanted to go over a reminder about what you need to do in order to design your box and get your dimensions so that you can start building your prototype. First off, let's go over some of our requirements. You need a volume slightly larger than 3,000 centimeters cubed. Many of you decided to go with 3,100, 3,150, 3,200. Any of those numbers would be good, but remember you're aiming for something slightly larger than 3,000 centimeters cubed. Also, you want to use the smallest surface area that you can so that you can reduce the cost of your box. So as you're making your designs, your goal is to find a design that reduces the surface area as much as possible so that you need to use less cardboard. Before you begin really designing your box cover, you need the dimensions of your box so that you know what the front of the box dimensions will be in order to make sure your cover fits the front of your box. Be sure that you look at the instructions in Google Classroom. They are there. So if you look right here, let's get serial about math instructions. That has information about the requirements for this project. So be sure you look over those if you've not already. All right, let's talk about how we find the volume and area for our boxes and start creating our designs. Let's say that I am aiming for 3,000. Now remember, you are not aiming for 3,000, you're aiming for something slightly larger, so your numbers should be different than my numbers. So the first thing I want to do is choose a dimension that will divide evenly into 3,000, and that will possibly be my width across the bottom of the box. So 3,000 I know will divide evenly by 20. So I'm just going to take 3,000 and divide it by 20. That's going to be my width, 20 centimeters. Remember, all of our measurements are going to be in centimeters. I know 20 will go into 3,150 times. So that means that I need a width and a height that multiply together to give me 150. So I could do 15 times 10 to give me my 150. So I might make this 10 and make this 15. All right, so clearly this box would not be to scale if those were my dimensions. So let's we'll just go with that. All right, so 15 times 10 times 100 or times 20 would give me the 3,000 in the volume that I'm looking for. Now, I need to see what my surface area for this box will be. So to do that, I've got to multiply the length and width of each of the three different sides. All right, so I've got the front, the side, and the top, and I need the length and width of each of those. So on the front, it would be 20 times 15, which would give me 300. On the side, it would be 10 times 15, so 10 times 15, which gives me 150. And on the top, it would be 20 times 10, which gives me 200. Now I can add my three areas together. So I've got 300, 150, 200, and it looks like that gives me 650 for three of the sides, but remember my box has 6 sides, and those other 3 sides are the same dimensions as the 3 I just found. So I can take my 650 and multiply it by 2, and that gives me 1,200 centimeters squared of area. Now I'm looking for dimensions that I'm looking for some dimensions that will reduce my surface area as much as possible. So I'm going to try another design and see if I can get something smaller than 1,200 centimeters squared, or at the very least compare the two so I know which would be better. Now remember, in your project you have to come up with 3 different designs. So you're going to do this 3 times with your volume and your dimensions and determine which is the smallest surface area. All right, so here's another option that we have. So again, I'm going to use the same volume, and this time I'm going to start with, let's see, last time I started with 20. This time let's start with 15. I know 15 will go into it, so I've got 3,000. I'm going to start with 15, so I know that's going to give me 200. So I need something that multiplies together to give me 200. Now I don't want to use 20 and 10 because that would be the same as the previous box. So let's say that I use, let's see, how about, all right, so since we want it to be different than the other box, let's try dividing this by 25. And I know 25 goes into 200 8 times because I can count by 25s. So that would be 8. So I'm going to make my width here 8, and I'm going to make my height here 25. Now I need to determine the surface area to see if this box would be a better design or a worse design than the one I originally had. So again, I'm looking for the area for each of my faces. So there's 3 different faces that I need to find the area for: the front, the side, and of course then the top. So let's start with the front of the box. The front of the box has dimensions of 15 by 25. So 15 times 25 would give me the front area. So just over to the side, 15 times 25. I know that's going to be 75. I put a 0 placeholder, 30. So I've got 375. All right, then for the side of my box, it's going to be 25 times 8, which I've already done, and I know that that's going to be 200. And for the top of my box, it's going to be 15 times 8. I know 15 times 4 is 60, so 15 times 8 would be double that, which would be 120. So now to determine my total surface area for these 3 sides, I'm going to do 375 plus 200 plus 120. And I get 695. 695 times 2 will give me the total area for my box. So that's going to be 10, 19, carry my 1, 1,390. Now my previous area was 1,200, so 1,390 centimeters squared is not better than the first one. So again, you need to do 3 separate designs for your own box and choose the one with the best or lowest surface area. That's going to be your most efficient design for your box. All right, now I want to make sure you understand what you need to do for the assignment. In Google Classroom, you have Box Design Brainstorm here. Box Design Brainstorm. You need to click on that, and then that's going to pull up a Google Doc that looks like this. In this Google Doc, be sure that you put your 3 group names or names of everyone in your group, 2 or 3 people, whatever. There's a place there for you to put 3 different images. So you're going to draw your sketch and label the dimensions, and that's going to go in the box there that says Image of Design. And then, of course, you're going to put the volume here that you are going for. You're going to put your length, width, and height. And then when you figure up your surface area, like we did in the previous frames, you're going to put your total area there. Of course, you're going to choose the box that has the lowest surface area, and that's the one that you will do your prototype of. We will work on those prototypes tomorrow during class. So today, be sure that you get your 3 designs done. This box design brainstorm page needs to be turned in for your group, and finish up your stations, Mathopia City, area and volume exploration, and your volume practice, as well as any past due work that you have that you need to be working on. get those done today, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.